This is to demonstrate how to sew a neat seam between pieces of Tunisian crochet that are going in perpendicular directions. So this is the Tricolour T Tee, and this is the second side panel. I've already done the first side panel, which is in a different colour. This is upside down, so the foundation row is here, and then I've worked rows up and down along there, and then I've sewn a seam along here. So I'll bring that a bit closer. So that's the last row there. There's no bind off row on there. It's simply a seam that's sewn along there, and see the stitches are going in different directions. So the rows are this way here and then this way here. So I'm demonstrating exactly the same technique here. Now, I've already done a couple of stitches. What I'm trying to do is maintain a nice neat line along here, and what I'm doing is making sure that the front edge stitch is still visible. So that's these lines here, so that's the front of the edge stitch. So we're basically working in between the front loop and the back loop of the edge stitch. So there's the back loop there where I'm pointing with my needle, in the front loop. So there's a two-step process that you need to follow in sewing this seam, and this isn't the only way to do this seam, it's just the way that I have found to be the neatest on this particular project. So on the bottom part, you need to insert your needle into the front vertical bar of the first stitch, and then there's a twisting motion to get it into the next vertical bar along. So we're not just going stitch for stitch, we're basically anchoring it into two different places, two stitches side by side. Now what I've done there is twist that around, so I'll show you that again. So needle through the front, and then we're doing a twisting motion in the second one. So it's going backwards through the next stitch along, and pull that through. Now the next step, I've already connected to this stitch, so I need to go into here, and to maintain this line along here, you're going in between the front and the back loops. And what I'm doing is I'm picking up these two grey loops, which is here. So it's the top of the edge stitch. I'm just pulling this to exaggerate it. So yeah, the top of the edge stitch there, and it's another little loop that pokes out on the end. So it's, my needle is through two strands of yarn here, and pull that through. You don't need to pull these tight. You can work very loosely and pull them all gently at the end. We can do a little section and pull it along. So I'll do a few more so that you can see. Now this loop here is the one that we did the twisting motion through before, so we work into it twice. So this time I'm going to just put my needle through the vertical bar and then do the twisting motion on the second one. I lost track of that one. Okay, and pull that loop through, and then into the next stitch. So again, it's in between the loops of the front and back of the edge stitch, and grabbing those two loops, which are both the same color. So here it's pink, a bit tricky to see there, but they're both pink, and pull that through. And I'll do that one more time. So through the first vertical bar, then the twisting in the second, which is essentially putting your needle from left to right, but you do that twist so that you don't have to swing your needle around, and then grabbing in between the front and the back loops of the edge stitch, those two green loops there. We work that all the way along. So I find this neater than doing a crocheted edge, because it's not obvious. It will look almost identical to the foundation row. So the foundation row, we picked up only the back loops. So that first line that you see, that's the front loop of the edge stitch. So we're trying to mirror it here. Now on the back, I'll just show you. So this is where the wrapping happened, where we carried colours up the side. So that's neatly in behind it. And this one, you don't see that at all. There's no wrapping, but it's very neat.